Eerily haunting true stories about remote abandoned locations rich in history. Come with us in our travels from state to state, if you dare.
Be the last time anybody sees us alive. I don't know where she has us, but we're gonna get fucking killed.
Hello?
Gina, there is a beehive over there. Do you see that in the hole?
Buckle up, Buttercup.
Welcome to 50 States of Madness.
Hello, welcome to 50 States of Madness.
Hi. Good morning, good afternoon. I don't know what time it is. Oh,
I don't know.
it's afternoon. It's
12:30.
officially afternoon.
It's 12:30.
Yes. Hi, I'm Shannon.
Hi, I'm Gina.
Yeah. Today's going to be a shoot the shit episode, huh?
Yeah. I thought maybe we could do I thought this was going to originally maybe be a Patreon episode,
Yeah.
but since we had some experiences, we'll say, we thought
Yes.
that we've actually, since we posted on Instagram and kind of teased it a little, we've had a lot of people commenting that oh my God, I can't wait for this episode. I want to know what happened. They have all kinds of questions. So
Oh, okay. So, no, yeah, we had to do it.
Yeah.
So-
So
We stayed at the Last Bookstore
yes.
and overnight.
Yeah. And we had a
Sleepover.
little slumber party.
Yes. And we got to stay in the horror vault.
Yeah. It was it's HORROR.
Yeah. Did I say it right? Horror.
I know you said it right. I was just making sure they knew what.
Oh, not the horror
Not a
vault.
horror vault. I was just making some clarification there. That's all.
Yeah. Well, when we stayed there, it became the horror vault.
Yeah. We changed the name of it.
But a little background on the Last Bookstore, I guess.
Yeah, I love that. I absolutely love it. I love going there. It's in a not so great area. It's like right in Skid Row, downtown LA. But if you like to, even if you don't like to read, I think it's a fun place to visit.
It's awesome, just even for pictures for the gram.
Oh yeah,
The Instagram.
and that's actually
That
how
didn't sound good coming from me, huh?
I was gonna say.
The
Midlife
Instagram
crisis
photos.
much?
I know. Thank you.
I
I know
no,
because people did ask me, like, why would the Last Bookstore? Why would you stay the night in the bookstore? Well, if you've been there, you know why.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not like you're sleeping at Barnes and Noble
no.
on the autobiography aisle or anything like that. But I had seen that on Instagram that they had posted that they were doing like summertime slumber parties, and I was like, oh my. So I was like, Shannon, are you interested? She was like, yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so it's a super cool place. It's used books, new books, and they also have albums. They have vinyl. They have
It's
some
huge.
DVDs that we saw.
You said it was like 22,000 square feet.
22,000 square feet, I believe.
Huge.
But yeah, it's in a huge building.
And it not only has the books and the vinyls, it also has like subletted little shops to people.
Yeah, on the second floor.
And they're like, it's not just like, oh, I'm going to stick my stuff to sell. It's artists
It's very artsy.
that actually go there and they create their own work
Yeah.
and they sell it. And it's awesome, cool stuff.
Yeah,
If you haven't
it's
been,
very
you have to
cool.
check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But another time that you might have heard it is because Gina brought it up in a previous episode, the Last Bookstore.
Oh, I did. And I even asked the guy there that night if he knew who that person was. And he said her name, but I'm not sure if she works there anymore. But the Last Bookstore was one of the last places that Elisa Lam was seen alive, other than the elevator video,
Yeah.
obviously.
She's
But
the one who
who died in the water tank at the Cecil Hotel.
Yes.
And she had gone to the Last Bookstore to ask, I guess she was looking for a particular book. And so she went in, and in the, I think it's on Discovery Plus, I think it's called The Vanishing at the Cecil Hotel. They actually interview the lady who worked at the Last Bookstore who talked to her.
a maintenance worker discovered Lamb's naked body inside a water tank after guests complained of low water pressure. Despite any signs of foul play, both the LAPD and the LA County Coroner's Office ruled her death an accidental drowning.
The fact that it doesn't feel like a very satisfying conclusion to her story, I think has helped keep it fresh in my mind. But it also just seems almost a dismissive way of looking at her death, of just saying, well, it was an accident, we're done.
Katie Orphan is one of the last known people to see the 21-year-old Canadian tourist alive. Orphan is the manager of a bookstore just a few blocks from the Cecil Hotel and says people from all over the world often visit the store to ask questions about Lamb's death.
Mysteries like this should not remain unsolved.
Orphan remembers Lamb coming in to buy books and music records for her family in Vancouver and says Lamb worried about how she'd be able to fit the items she purchased inside her luggage.
It seemed like she had plans to return home, plans to give things to her family members and reconnect with them.
And so I had asked the gentleman who was in charge the night that we stayed there.
He wasn't like
he knew her name.
He worked there, but I kept referring to him to people as a security guard, but I don't think he was a security guard. He actually works at the Last Bookstore.
I think he might be a manager or something.
Employee.
Or yeah.
There was a weekend that they had it where it was only adults. It was 21 and older that you had to be there. But then the following weekend, it was families.
It was like all ages.
It was all ages. So we had a teacher there with her young son. He was about 4 years old.
Yeah.
And then we had a mom there with her son and daughter who had a really cool setup with a
tent,
a blow up house tent with the fan. I don't know. She said she got it on
Amazon,
and I totally want to get one.
Yeah.
I just don't know what I do with it, but it was so cool. And then we had a young couple.
then a young couple.
Yeah, they were they looked like they were like 19, 20 years old.
Yeah, they were super young. But originally we were not interested in doing it if it was going to be an all ages event because
we thought a bunch of kids
we're
would
just
be
like,
running
I think
around
be a bunch of kids. But then I was like, okay, whatever. We couldn't do it. Our schedules wouldn't allow us to do it that day. And then it ended up selling out. And then the only day that we could do it was on an all ages day.
Which I think was better because I think it wasn't sold out. There was only 9 of us total.
It wasn't, but I said to Shannon, I was like, who in their right mind is going to bring their kids? I just would never. Yeah, I would never. But again, they didn't.
It wasn't touted as like a haunted.
No,
night.
it wasn't.
It wasn't touted as spooky. They weren't. It wasn't anything like that. It was just come and stay. You can read books,
and just hang out. Yeah,
it was actually really cool. Like
but we rented out the horror vault, so we had our own room.
Yeah.
And the horror vault is where they keep all of the, the horror books, and serial killers.
And the reason why there's vaults there is this used to be an old bank building.
Yeah. So we were in the actual vault.
It actually has several vaults in this place. Mm-hmm. And they have like really cool, like, book design. They have like a book tunnel, a tunnel made out of books, and we'll show you pictures. But even if you Google it, you'll see people
they're
take
very,
pictures
very
there
popular.
all the time. Yeah, because it's just such a cool setup on how they have the books and the design of the store.
Yeah,
Super
I mean
cool.
up top because it's 2 stories. So up on the top story on the second floor, which is where we were at the second floor, they actually have like suspended books that look like they're flying. Like it's decorated very, very cool.
It's super cute. I always call it the Harry Potter area, and I don't know why, but with the books all flying in the ceiling and stuff and flapping around, but it just reminds me of it. When we went there, you have to park in downtown LA.
Yeah.
So there's
there's no parking there.
There's no you have to pay. You have to pay for the parking, but so we're packing a blow up mattress, blankets, everything you can think to take with you for an overnight. They don't provide food really. They have a vending machine.
Yeah, and when it said like you can't bring in any outdoor food, so I said to Shannon, I'm like,
how are we gonna?
I wonder they have to like maybe provide food for us, or I don't know, because like it wasn't cheap. We'll just say that. It wasn't cheap to stay the night there. So I was like, well, maybe they're
Giving
be
us
like
food.
barbecuing out in the back or something.
know.
I don't know. But in my mind, the first thing I think of when I'm going to be gone somewhere is, where am I going to get food?
Yeah.
So when we walked in there and I asked the guy, like, are you guys going to be selling food or like, and he's like, oh yeah, we got food right there. And he pointed to this vending machine. We looked at each other and we're like, oh, hell no.
That's
Oh,
not going to work.
hell no. Something like, how much time do we have?
He was really cool. He said, you can go down to, he goes, I'll let you bring it in as long as you clean up your mess after you. You know, I don't want to be cleaning
and that
up
was
crumbs.
that was the
stuff.
reason that
Yeah.
they had said no outside food, is because I'm sure people probably just leave
Their
trash
trash
everywhere. So
But we were really respectful. We cleaned up after ourselves. But we packed this, like, what is it, a wagon?
A wagon.
Kind of, yeah, a little
what
fold-out wagon.
which I use for my dog now, and she loves it.
does she? Oh, good.
She
She
does.
does love
Yeah,
it.
she did
Good.
well in it.
We saw it at Walmart because we were getting the mattress, and so then we got the roller, and here we are going through downtown LA with our blankets, our pillows, our mattress. Yeah, we probably look like we were just
Like we belong
day
there.
one on the street. Yeah, well, because we didn't look like we'd been there,
No.
but we were day one on the street. Coming up to the bookstore and with all our stuff. People probably thought we were crazy.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure.
But no.
But down there's no crazy. Like, it's, you
No.
know.
and it
just
was
blend in.
it just we're just one of us. It was from 8 p.m. to 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to check in. We got our snacks. Luckily, we ran down to the market.
Yeah,
super
there was a
fast.
liquor store right at the corner, so we
Yeah.
just ran down. The guy let us out. We
And
went.
It closes at 8, but they want us there at 8. So it's kind of like this fancy exchange of us coming in with all our stuff, but they're trying to kick everyone else
out, yeah.
so that the bookstore's to ourselves. And they kind of, I don't want to say they lock you in because the guy stays all night. So I'm sure if we really had an emergency or we wanted to
of
get out,
course,
we could have
yeah.
got out.
Yeah.
But
We were well protected.
Oh yeah, and he wanted us to come back because he says he's going to give us a tour of the bookstore, just kind of let us know where it's at and just tell us a couple stories about it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he was very cool. I wish I could remember his name. I don't know why Richard is sticking in my mind,
bad
but
with names.
I cannot for the life of me remember his name.
And I actually went back there. I didn't tell you. On my way to my mom and dad's house this past weekend, the shirt I got, I thought it
Oh,
was
did
the
you bring my
military
shirt?
guy. No, I totally forgot. Oh, wait, I'll check. Maybe it is in there. It might be in there. But, I thought it had the military guy on it. And I opened it up, and it was of the book Tunnel. And Gus said, I would have really liked the military guy.
Oh.
And then when I opened up mine, I thought mine was the LA Hands, and it was actually the military guy.
Oh, God.
Like, I don't know what I was thinking in the morning when I was grabbing them.
Oh,
so I went back this weekend, and I ran it. I said, I was here this week. He said, oh, yeah, I remember you.
He was there.
Yeah, he goes, just grab the ones you want. I didn't even have to stand in the line. He just said, just grab the
Oh,
ones
that
you
was
want
cool.
and go out. Yeah,
Oh,
but
cool.
Nathan came with me. And it was the first time Nathan went. And
Oh.
he's my son. He's 21 years old. And he actually went in there and he dug it. Like, he
It's
was like,
so cool.
yeah. And I told him, is this a place you'd come back with your friends to hang out? He goes, yeah.
Oh, yeah, for
He
sure.
was like, he wanted to have time to look at the books and stuff, but we had to get down to my mom's house. So
Yeah.
my mom and dad's. But
And I feel like even if you aren't into books, like,
yeah.
it's
They
just
have
a
records.
cool place to just check out, just look, look around and whatever. But it's a very, very cool place. If you're ever in the area, stop
It's
by.
off of Spring Street
Spring Street
in
and
downtown.
Fifth or
I
Fourth?
think,
Maybe
I think
Fifth.
it's between
Yeah.
around there, around
Yeah.
there. But one of the stories he told us, and that's what I was looking up, was a story about a freight elevator that's there.
Yeah, so he took us to a couple places where, if you're just shopping there, you don't see. And one of them, because it's an old bank building, it's 14 stories high. And so there's a freight elevator in there, which is like, it still is the original one where you have to like crank it open and all
He
of that.
said you have to like balance it and stuff and get it just right. And
I
it's
wish
an
I'm
old.
kicking myself
freight.
now because Shannon didn't want to go in there.
Oh no, I don't even like going in regular elevators. Up to date 2023 elevators.
And I could kick myself now for not asking him to take me in there because I'm sure he would have
Oh yeah.
taken me in there. And
Oh no. I
So.
just no, that wouldn't have been fun. But
Probably wouldn't have been fun, but you know.
he was telling a story about how they found a body, and you remember the story better than I do.
I believe he said it was in the 1920s. I could be wrong, but I believe it was in the 1920s that somebody had died in there, and they don't know if it was an accidental death or if it was a suicide, but somebody died inside that freight elevator, and then 1 year
To the
day,
Yeah.
another person died in there, and they're not sure if that was an accidental death or a suicide as well. So
I'm going to go a little off topic because we were trying to find it because we said, okay, maybe
Yeah.
we can find an article on it, but I want to share a story, and because it's a shoot the shit, so I can go off topic, right? So I was looking up, freight elevator deaths, things like that in LA in the 20s. There's a story here I want to read, and I haven't told Gina the
Oh,
story.
wow.
I thought it was kind of cute. It's not
Cute?
well, but so the Los Angeles courthouse on November 25th, 1927. There's an article. It appeared that Congo, a rat who had gotten fat off eating first the contents of a sack of peanuts that were evidence, and then from countless pieces of cheese left out in traps to try and catch him, had committed suicide by jumping down the elevator shaft.
oh my God.
Congo, who had allegedly grown whiskers a foot long and had a huge furry coat, after apparently eating a judge's bottle of hair restorer, was best friends with Megan, a gray-haired stray cat that had become the courthouse cat. And instead of chasing down Congo as the employees had hoped, he had in fact become Congo's best friend. The pair were often seen together both on the roof and inside elevators, and even sometimes climbing the sides, scaring passengers. But recently appeared that Megan had been run over and killed on Temple Street, and it seemed that Congo could not live without his best friend. So
It sounds like
he
a
ended
children's
up
book.
committing suicide.
Oh my God.
That might not be the children's book part, because he lost his best friend and he couldn't live without her. That, I wonder if Megan saved Congo a couple times from just being silly and almost falling into the
Maybe.
thing, and then grabbing him. And this time,
Our next episode will be on them.
he had no Megan to stop him from running down the elevator shaft, or Megan was calling to him, Congo, come here. Meow. And then there he goes.
Oh my God.
I've got these stories going on. No, but it was like, I thought that was funny.
Wow.
I was like, they have all these like serious death, like really like some of them, they have photos and stuff if you want to look this stuff up, but like elevator death scenes in the 20s.
There's no
stuff.
pictures of the cat and the rat.
There's no pictures of the cat and the rat.
Oh,
But it says rat trails cat to hereafter. That's the title of the article. Of
The title of the
newspaper.
children's book?
Yes. So yeah, they have all these stories about all these gruesome deaths, and then they came to that one, and so I thought that was cute to share.
very
But
cute.
anyway, so we have that elevator death, and so
That's pretty much,
that was like besides the fact that he talked about books. Like every morning, all the employees, like when they come in, they have to kind of pick books up off the shelves,
off the floor.
yeah, and put them back on the shelves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, imagine having to pick books off the shelves
I know. Imagine that at a bookstore.
at a bookstore. Yeah.
Yeah,
because
he says that he said that he had like a couple
experience.
experiences there that were a little creepy.
He says like it's a friendly. There's
He calls him Casper.
Casper, the friendly ghost.
Yeah.
So-
But yeah, he said that there have been a couple employees that have like actually witnessed like books flying off the shelf, stuff coming off the shelf and stuff like that.
Especially in the horror vault where we were going to stay.
Yeah.
I guess what a couple, one wrote for the Times,
Mm-hmm.
stayed in the horror vault, and they experienced some of the books flying
Yeah.
off the shelves.
Yeah.
Or falling
And
off the shelves.
that's an article you can just Google it and it'll pop right up.
Yeah, they did a sleepover as well, so they talk about their experience in the horror vault.
Yeah.
So we were pretty excited.
Yeah.
He gave it, and then when he gave us the tour up there,
Yeah, I didn't. I couldn't in my mind because it had been a couple years since I had been there last, and so I couldn't in my mind place where the horror vault was.
yeah,
And but we basically had like our own
it's
our
it was a
own room. Yeah. But when you walk in, there's the actual original vault door
Yes.
that is still like that heavy iron door, like a jail cell looking kind of thing.
You can't close it, so you
Yeah,
can't
so
get
it's
locked in
so
it.
it's open. But on the top of this door is this doll.
Yeah, like one of those like Halloween dolls that they put up there that kind of talks when you hit them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just looks like an old,
Like he got cracked.
yeah, like an old doll. It
Yeah.
just, you know,
He
is
has like certain phrases that he
yeah.
says.
But he just sits there all the time. And just watches
and he
over.
kind of showed us. He said, "Hey, ladies, this is where you're going to be staying." And he kind of hit the doll, and it didn't say anything. He had to hit a little harder, and then it started talking. And then he kind of showed us around there. And they have this fan that sits in there for us because Lord knows we need air.
Yeah, there was no air conditioning.
Yeah.
You got 2 women in menopause.
I know. Thank you.
Locked in the horror vault. I was like, oh my God, what are we going to do?
I know. So after he gave us that tour, we decided, okay, we got to set up our stuff
Yeah.
in there.
Because we had all of our food now, our snacks that we had.
We were ready.
We had our blankets, our mattress, our pillows, you know.
We wanted to set it up because I was kind of excited just to hang out, walk around and read, take photos, kind of see what there was, you know. So it sounds like it's a long time, but it really isn't because, you know, we did sleep. But
yeah.
But so at around 9:15, we decided, hey, you know what? We're going to set up our room so it's all ready and pull things out. But they had this real big, heavy, like metal chair in the middle.
It
that
looked like
sat
it
in
was
the
made
middle.
out of like an old radiator. And there were
Yeah, like
multiple,
pipes. Yeah.
multiple ones throughout.
And the price of it is your life.
Yeah.
I sat on one and,
Yeah.
you know, it has like the tag and it said like, you know, this costs your life. So I'm like, ooh, it's really expensive.
Yeah.
But,
Well, it's so heavy that the one that was in our room, I told Shannon, I'm like, oh, we're going to have to move it because we're going to have to put the mattress right here. And I was like, oh, it's nailed to the floor because I couldn't lift it.
it's so heavy.
She's like, no, it has to move. It has to move. In the picture, it was moved. It wasn't
It
here.
wasn't there.
So between the two of us, we got it moved. But
It was really
ended
heavy.
up cutting my finger in the process.
Yeah, it was super
was
heavy.
so heavy. But yeah,
So-
we moved it.
So I decided, like, hey, I'm going to record us setting up the room. So, like, you know, because originally we thought this would be just a Patreon
And
episode.
honestly-
So we thought, like, just to record, like, you know, do some time-lapse video. You know, we didn't really think
I'm
anything.
not drinking Bud Light, by the way.
Yeah.
I just realized that when I caught a glimpse of it. This is
water.
This is water, guys. I
Yeah,
promise. It's
we have water.
Yeah, it's called weird water.
Mine's called NDOH2O.
And no day off, I think it's
Oh,
called.
no day off.
Yeah,
it's
it's got a
cute.
little
It's got
bully
a
on
little
there.
bulldog on there.
Yeah,
So
Johnny.
cute.
Johnny sends me. I went through this whole phase where I call it cool water. Like I'm not
Yeah.
just trying to drink Arrowhead. So he finds all these weird waters and he sends them
I
to
love
me.
it.
But what was I saying?
I don't know. I was saying that we were going to set up for the video. And
Oh,
that-
yes,
yeah.
yes. When I guess because it wasn't like when you set your phone up, when you put your phone up there, I guess I knew that you were recording, but I wasn't really paying attention. Like we were just kind of had just moved our stuff in there. So
You were
it
looking
wasn't
at books in your phone.
I was looking at books because right when we walked in, the first book that I saw that caught my eye, I have.
Yeah.
And it's a book on Charles Manson. And so I was like, oh, I have this book at home. And so she's like, what book? And so I pulled the book out and I was like showing her the book.
And at this
she was
time, I
like,
was recording.
she's holding her
Yeah.
phone recording.
But I was going to try to set it up.
Yeah, so she just basically took her phone like this and just
Well,
set it up
I
on
set it up like
the bookshelf.
like this
or like this yeah.
direction. And the thing about it is because I flipped it so I can see what I was recording, but I have this rubber piece on the bottom and stuff. So, but my thing was, and I don't know if you guys can see this, but I was really worried that it wasn't going to get us because I leaned it up against a book. So I tilted it kind of like backwards. So I was kind of afraid it wasn't going to get us, but I'm like, maybe if it sat far back enough. So I made sure I pushed it back so that it had some shelf room. You know, it wasn't sitting on the shelf, and I pushed it back and I had it leaned back a little bit. So you'll see we have it recorded, but you'll see how you can't really see the floor because it's tilted kind of up. It's not straight up. And so, because I wanted to make sure like it would stay up there because it was 3 shelves high. I'm not about having my phone break.
Yeah.
So I put it up there, I had it, and I set it to record. And so I walk away and I start doing stuff, and you'll see in the video, Gina is just sitting there, her phone,
because I was trying to
books.
look something up. I don't remember what I was trying to look up, and I said something about I wonder if they have Wi-Fi here or something because I wasn't getting good service.
Yeah, we don't get good service.
Yeah,
because of all the tall buildings and stuff. And next thing you know, about I don't even want to say a minute in, but next thing you know, and you'll see it, the phone falls to the floor, and the fucking doll says, "Come play with me." Gina, it said, "Fucking come play with me." Fuck you. Fuck you. Oh my God. I about lost my shit because, okay, well, first I lose my shit. You'll see in the video, we actually went down to the I keep calling them security guard, the guy who was there, and asked him if we can see this footage. So we did record the footage. So we have it here. It's not like
because
it's stuff that we're going to be like, just trust us.
We have her
video.
actual phone footage, the footage from her phone, because remember her phone is recording the whole entire time.
And you can hear the doll.
But I said to her, I said, hold on. I said, this room is under surveillance. There's a surveillance camera in here. I said, we need to go down and ask him to pull that footage immediately.
Yeah, just so when it tape over.
And so he went right to the computer and he let us. He gave us the tape. Yeah,
and he let us
let us watch it and everything. Yeah.
And so, but it's funny because in the video, I'm towards the back. Gina walks back towards me to be
in the
near
corner.
Me, in the corner, and I take off.
She leaves me,
and there's Gina sitting there, and oh my God, I'm gonna zoom in on that face that she's making, but she is like in agony. She's like this. It is the funniest thing. It wasn't funny at the time though, and every time I tell the story, I do get goosebumps on my arm because, you know, you experience things here and there or whatever, but you never really see it, and so when you go back to the video footage, you see my phone like literally like get pushed off and fall. You hear the doll, and I had Gina go back afterwards when I did get the nerve to go back into the room, and I said, Gina, stand right there and jump up and down in the spot where the phone fell. Okay. That's where the phone fell. The doll's not talking. Doll doesn't talk. Go over. Doll's not talking. Gina. Just so everybody can see in relation where Gina is, where the doll is, and how the doll does not say anything. Yeah. It is not activated with...
well, it wasn't even activated when he took us in there, and he tapped on it, and it wasn't, and it wouldn't go off. And he's like, "Oh, it's kind of old. You have to hit it really hard."
Push on him. Where did I push? I think you just hit him. And so I had Gina jump. I had Gina shake the gate. And then even before we left, I said, you know what? I didn't show people like what you have to touch it. Mm-hmm. Okay, we're saying goodbye. Okay. Can you get her until it says...
Did you hear what it says?
You dropped me
and I broke, and that made me angry.
Yeah. You do another one? I want to see when it... Because that's the only time I've ever heard it say...
Oh.
There it is. That's the one. And do it. I want to see how many things it says. Okay, I'm so glad that one didn't come on. The come play with me was better. Oh, okay. So
we only had an option of 3.
We did not drop you. So Gina goes over there and you see her, she kind of taps it. Nothing. She has to kind of like knock it in its head for it to even say anything. So for it to, it's just,
it was the chain of events that it was just, it all
together.
happened literally like within 2 seconds. Like it was so fast. Like it just, that phone just came like bam. And as soon as like, I don't even feel like the phone had hit the floor yet.
I don't even know.
And that doll was just like, come play with me. We were just like, oh my God.
I don't, and I've showed a few people at my jobs, and I've had a few of them say I wouldn't even stayed.
I know. I had a coworker like, and you stayed the night?
I know. And even the next day, like one of the ladies said that, were the books that were falling off the shelves from your room? And we're
no,
like,
she said, I heard, did you hear that bang during the night?
Oh.
And I said, no. And she was like, oh, she's like, I heard a bang during the night, but I just thought it was you guys in there.
Oh, I thought she had mentioned like, did the books fall off the shelf in your room?
No. And then we walked out and we were like, that's what it was, because there was a bunch of books that had fallen on the shelf right outside of our door.
Well, when I showed my dad the video, and he's not a believer in this stuff, but we kind of zoomed in at the phone to see, and he goes, do you see? It looks like the book came out. So
and pushes the phone.
Push the phone. So it's not just my phone fell, like literally the book that I had pushed back had come forward
and knocked your phone.
And knocked my phone off.
Yeah.
I'm getting chills talking about it.
No, it was very, and like, I'm sure most of you guys know, you've heard enough of our conversations about the paranormal on here that I am the biggest skeptic you will ever meet. I explain everything away. And there was no explaining this.
No, it was a little. It was. I got shook up.
It wasn't like it was like on the edge of the of the shelf, and it just kind of went like it was way back.
I made sure because I wanted
because it was up high. Like I'm shocked your screen didn't break.
My screen didn't break. Yeah, actually I am too. It was 3 shelves up, but and then I ran out and I had to go share my story with the 2 young couple that were outside our room.
So she leaves me, right? So I'm just like, what is happening right now? Like I think I'm just in shock, because why I walked back there. I mean, I guess I went back to comfort her, but then she left. So then I'm just like standing in the corner, like looking around, like, is somebody going to come out? Like what's happening? Like, what do we do next? And I can hear her talking. And at this point, I didn't know where anybody else was at, because I just figured most people were going to sleep downstairs because there's couches down there or whatever. And so I start recording on my phone and I'm like, where are you at? Where are you at? And I could hear her talking, and she's talking to this couple who's like 18 or 19 years old. And they're just sitting there. And she's like, you're not going to believe what happened. You are not going to believe. And she's just like, oh my God.
Video, I was like,
she's just lighting this place up. And these kids are just like, oh my God.
They ended up not sleeping right outside our door after that.
No, they didn't sleep
They
there.
moved.
Yeah, they were going to sleep outside of our door. And
yeah, no, they moved.
Yeah, they didn't stay there.
Funny. No, that scared the crap out of me. And then, there was this one part, but I'm going to clarify because I'm going to go back. But there's this one other device that the guy claimed never came on. And it was lighting up, so I did video record it. But I went back and it was on. Like, I saw it on. So, and then I showed somebody else, and they're like, "Oh no, I've seen that on before." So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna relate it to that, because there's something that the guy claimed, like, "Oh, this never turns on. It hasn't worked in years or whatever," during our tour. So when I ran to those kids, that it was flashing on and off. So I thought, oh my gosh, it's following us.
Water all over me.
But no, it wasn't that one. That one, when I went back with my son over the weekend, we passed it, and the light in the screen was flashing.
Oh, it was. Oh.
Unless it's me that's triggering.
I was gonna say, I don't know, because
I don't know.
When we walked by there originally,
it was not on.
It wasn't on.
That's true. That is true.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, maybe we activated it.
I mean,
with the come play with me spirit.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah. But I'm I want to bring up. So when I was showing these videos to one of the he's new at our store. His name is Gavin. So I was telling him, like, I was talking to him about dad. Like afterwards, we went.
This is at Starbucks. She's talking about.
Yeah, at Starbucks. Sorry, at my work at Starbucks, and so I was talking to him, because I wanted to show these kids these videos, like, hey, I want you to see what happened to me at the Last Bookstore, because a lot of them knew that I was staying the night there. And so I was showing them, and he's like a total believer. And he's like, oh my gosh, I totally believe in that stuff. And so I said, oh, well then if you totally believe in that stuff, I want to show you our video. If you guys remember when we went to the Whaley House in that little light orb that we couldn't quite make of it. But if you haven't seen it, go back and see it.
Yeah, go watch the video.
Our YouTube on the Whaley House. But it has this orb, and this young kid reacts to it. He kind of like turns and looks at it, and we're always like, oh, he's reacting to the orb, because I would have never thought anything about a light until the kid reacts. So I couldn't find my original video, so I had to go on our YouTube channel, and I had to go through it. Well, on the YouTube channel, I slowed it down for our audience so they can see it. Yeah. So I slowed it way down so they can kind of see this orb flying around and him looking, and reacting to this orb. But when I was watching it and I was showing him it, it's not the orb he's reacting to. You see a shadow.
And I didn't even catch it until you sent it to me the other night.
I flipped out.
She texts me, my text goes off, and I see it's from her. I can't even open my text yet, and she's calling me already.
Because in the video, you see the orb flying, right? And then you see this, he blacks out. You don't even see the boy. It's a dark shadow that crosses behind him, and he looks
up.
Up when the dark shadow crosses.
And it was so obvious. Like, I'm like, how did we not see that?
I don't know how we missed that the first time, because we did it on the Whaley House. I even inserted the clip. I slowed it down. I did all that stuff. But when I was watching it on the YouTube, so check it out, because that one was kind of like, let us know what you think, because you see light orb, but it's his reaction to it. But then when I saw that dark shadow, I'm like, no, okay, we got something on video. And like we said, we're not huge. We didn't stay at the Last Bookstore to come back with the whole story. The Whaley House, we did go for the paranormal thing, but it's more for fun for us.
For sure.
But and when I showed it to this kid at work, he's like, that's like legit evidence, like right there. He's like, I would like those two things right there. He's like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, thank you for, what is that? Confirming, or
I mean,
because sometimes you don't know.
And it's funny too, because we said, like, especially like in the very beginning when we were going through all the ghost towns in Wyoming, and before we had started doing like a lot of true crime, a lot of people were, I think, maybe thinking we were a paranormal podcast, and we kept saying we're not a paranormal podcast. We're not a paranormal podcast. But it's like the places that we were going and the things that we were doing at this time last summer.
Yeah.
That was just where we were, and we do a bunch of different things on this channel.
Yeah.
And that's just obviously like, she has a love of certain things. I have a love of certain things. We have been doing a lot of true crime lately.
Our audience has a love of certain things.
Yeah. So, yeah. So it's, I mean, and we hope to bring you a bunch of different things. Yeah. So, but we are not a paranormal podcast.
No, we don't have the devices. We don't
go doing that out. We did have, why can't I think of his name? The author of Haunted by History.
Haunted by History.
Craig Owens.
Craig Owens, yeah.
We did have him on the podcast a couple months back, and we are looking to have him. We are going to do another collaboration with him. He called me like last month or whatever, and he's got some pretty cool ideas. But yeah, we're not out there to like summons things, and that's just that's not.
They can stay where they're at.
Yeah, like that's not what we're trying to do. But there's no doubt in my mind especially after, because when something happens to you, obviously you're going to have a different perspective, a different viewpoint than I'm going to have.
Yeah.
But to be able to not only watch it on your phone and hear it on your phone, but look at a surveillance video of the whole thing happen.
Yeah.
That's just like confirmation.
I think
You can't explain it away at that point.
I think if it would have happened where like a book fell off and then the doll talked, I think we'd still be in kind of like, but it's like you said, you have, because as time goes on, you forget exactly what happened.
Yeah, you forget how the story happened. What was I really doing? Did I bump the bookshelf? Did I?
You question it.
Yeah. Well, especially me, because, I must have bumped it, or maybe something happened. Maybe the fan was on.
Yes. But no.
But to
have
see
the 2 video views and then have the audio. And it's funny because every time we've hit that doll, the first saying, it might be like an order that it goes in or whatever, but the only saying we ever heard it say, the time he hit it and the times after that we hit it, it always said, "Oh, you dropped me, and you dropped and broke me, and now I'm angry."
Yeah.
That's the only thing we ever heard it say.
Yeah.
So when we were leaving and I asked Gina to hit it, she hit it. It said that same saying again. "You dropped me and you broke me." So I said, "Hit it again." And I think it was the second or the third time where it says, "Come play with me." So, for it to shoot out that particular phrase at that time when the phone fell, and it's not motion censored.
No.
It's not voice censored.
It's old. This thing is old.
It's not like, you clap and it'll talk. You literally have to hit the doll.
Well, even because initially when we first had gone in there and he did it, I wasn't really paying attention to what he did. So when Shannon and I had taken our stuff and our bags in there, I kind of like reached up and I was like, I touched it and I was like, "Oh, it's not working." And she's like, "No, you have to hit it harder." So then I hit it harder and then it went on. So I was like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, it's not a sensitive doll.
No.
So
not at all.
And for it to go in that like almost like it wanted to play.
Yeah.
And I wasn't about playing with spirits. So I mean, and especially not children's spirits. I do have to say I have a fear of kids and evil mixed together. Like I had a hard time with The Grudge. Did not like it. Didn't even like the video cover. If you haven't
But here
seen
we
it,
are
look at it.
in Wyoming, in Gebo. How do we say it? Gebo. At this
children's
abandoned cemetery
with all
children.
I know.
And again,
that's my fear though.
And again, that's where we had another experience.
And we did. And unfortunately that one's not quite on camera. So it's like, it's
no,
funny.
but we've showed it before and maybe we could insert it here. The video of us actually driving away, I think, is the funniest. I can laugh now. She was crying at the time, but us driving down that, not even a road, like just 7 miles of nothing.
Yeah. I think of those horror movies when those people are like, Mama, where she's coming at them and straight. I would be that person that would just say, "Just kill me now." Like I wouldn't even run. Like I would just stop and just
take me now.
Just do it. Like as quick as possible, please. Like, cause I would not even be able to live with that memory.
No.
Like,
of course not.
Take it now. Take me now. Like, yes. But it was a lot of fun.
We did. We have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And I think they only offer it from like April to July.
Oh, okay. So
but even if you're not interested in staying the night there, but if you're ever here in Los Angeles, it's definitely a place that you want to visit.
Absolutely. Just don't go on a Saturday afternoon. You will not be able to walk through the people, and there's no AC.
Yeah.
When I went with Nathan,
that's packed.
Poor little thing. He was sweating.
Yeah. It gets really packed.
Don't go in the middle of the summer
a
on
lot
Saturday.
A lot of tourists go there. It's very well known, and
it's near the Cecil Hotel and the Alexandria Hotel.
Yes.
2 of the most haunted hotels in LA. So
yeah. Alexandria way more haunted than the Cecil.
Yeah.
Way more haunted.
Just for that reason to check it out. It's right across the street from the Alexandria. It's like literally like Alexandria, the Last Bookstore.
And that's actually maybe hopefully soon what we have gonna do a little collab with Craig Owens.
Exciting.
Yeah.
To get into there and
to get
look around.
into the Alexandria. So yeah, so we have a lot
There's our abandoned places coming back.
Yeah, I mean it's gonna we do we're on a true crime kick right now, and then before it just depends. It depends if we're traveling. Obviously, if we're traveling and we're somewhere, we kind of have to stick to that content. Whatever. When we went to Wyoming, it was mostly abandoned places, history, ghost town, stuff like that.
Cemeteries.
When we went to Texas,
Killing fields.
it was true crime central. A lot of stuff happens in Houston.
A lot of stuff happens in Texas.
So, I get it just depends. And a lot of stuff happens here in LA.
Yeah, for sure.
So, we have a lot of, and then also I want to also cover, stuff that's happening, current events and stuff in the news also.
You got one coming too.
Yeah.
A good one coming.
Yeah. So we're
stay tuned on that one.
Yeah. So, it'll just be and it's hard for us to travel all the time.
Yeah.
It's not, we can't as much as I would love to, and we could just, retire and just travel in our 50 States of Madness tour bus. It would be awesome.
Our dream, though.
And you know what? We're going to do that someday.
Yeah.
We're going to.
It's
I'm
gonna
just putting it out there.
Yeah.
We're going to do
happen.
it.
Our billionaire sugar daddy fan is going to hook us up with our
with our tour bus.
With our tour bus.
Yeah. We're just going to travel all over the 50 states and create a bunch of madness.
Yes. We may be 80 when we're doing it, and our sugar daddies are going to be Johnny and Gus, but we're going to be doing it.
Oh my God. We're going to be out there in our wheelchairs with our walkers and our canes. And
you know what? But we'll be able to get away faster than running.
We're not going to look suspicious. We're not going to look suspicious at all.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Or we're sitting ducks for a murderer. Just saying.
Probably that. Probably that. But before we end everything, we have a new Patreon.
Yes, we do.
Thank you, Amber.
Thanks,
Amber's been a longtime friend of mine. I met her in the concert scene many moons ago, and she is there's a group of us that live all over the United States, and we call each other best bitches. So she's one of the best bitches. Yeah.
Yay,
so she joined our
Amber.
Patreon. So thank you, Amber.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I don't know. I think that's
and visit our merch store. Just got a new one in today. These sweatshirts.
Yeah, so we finally have a sweatshirt in because
my
I was
goodness.
worried about ordering hoodies because I didn't want them to be, that super thick, bulky, tight, like around your waist
Not
and
here.
choking you with the hood and all
I have
of that.
to say that this is really, they run a little bit big, so just FYI. So this one's an
Put
extra...
your laptop down so they
here
can
we
see.
go. This one's an extra large. I don't know why I ordered an extra, because I like my sweatshirts a little bit big. Just not this big, because it's like, and I don't even know if I can stand up, but it's almost feels like a 2X, but it's huge.
Oh yeah, it's really big.
It's really big. So just,
Yeah,
when you're ordering,
but they're very soft and
they're
it's a
thin,
like a lightweight hoodie. It's not the super thick ones.
it's a summer hoodie.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
I know I had on our other sweatshirt that we got just for us in the beginning, and I threw that one off real quick when I felt this one. I was like, I got this in the mail today on my way over here, and I was like,
yeah,
I just love it. It's so comfy. So
yeah,
head
no,
over
they
to our
came
merch
out
store,
really good.
and we appreciate everybody who's purchased something.
Yeah,
from
we've
us
had so
already.
many people purchase stuff, and we really appreciate it. And now we have trucker hats up, we have beanies up, we have the hoodies up. And then we've had some requests for some additional items, so we're going to be working on that too. And then we have, of course, our T-shirts. So
Savannah said, "Could you please put up stuff for us poor folk. So I said, okay.
I'm
said
thinking
stickers and magnets
yeah,
and
like I
mugs,
think
stuff
stickers
like
and
that.
stuff like that. Yeah. So
Definitely.
yeah, so I think
pretty
that'll be
soon
good.
you're going to see me and Gina posing like the twins over there in The Shining, and we will make stickers for you.
Yeah,
Imagine.
I'm like we're gonna, because our year anniversary is coming up in October, so I thought let's rebrand a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's so maybe we'll make some changes here and there. But in the meantime, we still have 50 States of Madness. So
Thank you
so thank you for listening. And if you would like to follow us on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube, we're at 50 States of Madness. And our Patreon is patreon.com/50 States of Madness. Yeah. And our merch store is 50statesofmadness.bigcartel.com. I don't know how I've memorized all this stuff.
That's why she does it. You'd be going to some URL that's like kicking you down.
She even texted me the other day. She's like, well, I remember when we first started this, everybody, we were trying to record our intro. And it's funny because all these things are popping up in my memories now. We were just talking about this because it was last year at this time. And there's so many outtakes. I kept saying 50 Shades of Madness.
Yeah.
I couldn't. I couldn't. I was trying so hard not to say it that I couldn't stop from saying it.
It's so funny that you say that because the kid Gavin that I was telling you about, he's like, hey, what's the name of your podcast? He's so cute. He's like, hey, what's the name of your podcast? My aunt and my mom might like it. Like, come on, Gavin.
Oh, God.
Well, but I'm like, so I said 50 States of Madness. And he's like, really? He's like, well, why? I said, because, originally we're going to go 50 states, but we talk about, everything around the United States. So I'm writing it out for him so he can see it. He's like, oh my God, I thought you said 50 Steaks of Madness.
50 steaks. Oh my God. Wow.
I would have asked why too.
Yeah.
But maybe it's the way I said it. I mean, who knows? You all know how I speak.
I was going to say the shocking.
I know. I could have said 50 Steaks of Madness.
Shocking.
Who knows? I know. So anyways, it's 50 States of Madness. Just so everybody out there knows. So, yeah. But
all right. Well,
we'll see everybody next week.
Yeah.
For another episode.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Thank you all for joining us.
Absolutely.
And have a good week.
Be safe.
Bye.
Bye.